Last year, I had an interesting experience. I was talking to teachers and librarians about using bilingual books. And in looking at the audience, I did not know how many of the people in the room were bilingual. That's always risky because we can't judge by looking at someone and knowing whether they are bilingual or not. But I happened to ask the group, I said, I want you to be honest. I don't want you to be worried about saying the right thing. How do you feel about bilingual books? And I was so grateful to the person who raised her hand and said, they intimidate me. And I said to her, I really applaud you for your honesty. Why do they intimidate you? And she said, because I'm the person in charge. I should have the answers. I'm looking at a book where I can't pronounce half the words in the book. Now that is such a key issue because we know that those of us who believe that bilingual books are important, and for a minute I'm going to focus on English-Spanish, we know these books are important because we know the size of this population and it is growing. We also know that the teaching and the library population does not reflect the diversity of our students. If they are not ordering these books and are not using those books will not be published. And I think that this is a very complex challenge that I don't hear discussed at teacher and librarian conferences. How does someone who really wants to work with their students, but who is not bilingual, how does that person really learn effective ways for using bilingual books? And as a group, we brainstormed, and people had lots of suggestions, but that was a very particular session. And I would like to see the publishing community, the community of educators saying, we need to talk about this. If we're committed to these young people, whether they are speaking Arabic at home or Japanese at home, how are we going to honor those home languages? How are we going to incorporate them? And one of the ways, of course, is that teachers and librarians have to be willing to put themselves in difficult situations, immersing themselves in these cultures. And usually, they find that so enriching and are so grateful, but it takes going out of what we call our comfort zone sometimes.